Morning, everybody. Brad Johnson here for Bottom Line Thursday.
Morning,
Hey,
Brad.
Brad. Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you guys. Topic today, prior authorization.
Okay.
So raise your hands if you love it. As a patient,
Nope.
I don't
Give me
see
what I
hands being
need from my
raised.
doctor when my doctor says so.
Yes.
Yeah. I think your average patient's pretty aware of, hey, I want this solved. And if the
Yeah.
doctor I've trusted says this is necessary, I really don't feel they're doing it for the wrong reasons or trying to help me out. So I think, the whole concept of prior auth can get rather frustrating. I also
Yes.
get from the carrier perspective or even the administrator trying to protect the claim dollars to say, well, we just want to make sure you're not
Right.
getting an MRI when an x-ray would do.
Right.
Okay,
Correct.
I understand that as well. So, good friends at the Kaiser Family Foundation. They do a lot of great research. As you know, we cite them a lot, a nice nonpartisan source. And an
Right.
interesting, it was an opinion piece, though, that they did share. And they just felt that even though everyone would love to see prior auth, prior auth go away, they just don't see it happening, just
Right.
kind of a realistic prediction. And yeah, they talked about because the US does not limit services due to price controls, we've
Yes.
had to turn to basically micromanaging cost controls.
That's so
Say,
true.
okay, we can't tell you you can't have it, but we're going to make
Right.
sure that you really need it.
It's
So they
really
do
hard to
all
get it,
these
but
things.
Right.
eventually, yes. Yeah, and I think our providers know that too. I mean, we all have provider clients, and that's
Right.
we just ask 8 times and we finally get it done. You
Right.
know, it's a lot of hoops, a lot of hassle that members and providers are going through, but I understand why it's there.
Yeah, we all have friends that are docs, right? It's either clients or, people outside of our career. And I think their biggest frustration as a provider is I'm a specialist and I have ordered this test and the carrier is using a GP who's telling me what my client needs.
Yeah.
And he does not have the same training that I have, doesn't have the same career path that I had, and I don't want some general practitioner telling me as an orthopedic
Yeah.
what my client needs or doesn't need. And I think that is a legitimate argument.
Yeah,
That's the
I
biggest
agree.
complaint I get from cardiologists, orthopedics, gastro, you name
Yeah.
any specialty, it's typically XYZ carrier doesn't have a cardiologist reviewing another cardiologist. Now, that to Chris's point, that's where we have seen these things overturned is there is a part in the appeal process that you can ask for this to be reviewed by a same specialty kind of doctor, and then they usually do get overturned. But you start
Yeah.
with,
You go
you
through
know,
all the
yeah,
process
I mean,
there.
I don't want
Yeah,
to say it, but you start with the guy that graduated last in his class to be a doc, and he's the one reviewing all these things. It's like, no,
yeah.
this is crap.
And
So,
and the speed of which this takes place,
oh,
it's not quick. So
No.
if you need this and to wait an extra week, we all have had situations where we're helping a client get a
Yeah.
pre-op push through because the patient is supposed to
Yeah.
show up tomorrow
Yeah.
and it ain't happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
it's funny.
yeah,
I watch one of the 5:30 World News is out there, and they have a segment, the cost of denial, and this news station will find somebody that's been denied a claim, and then they get involved, and now there's all this media,
Yep.
inquiry as to why you're denying this coverage, and magically, then it's finally approved. And so it proves how inconsistent and how fair this process is.
Yeah.
yeah. Now think about, okay, so yeah, the hope is, well, AI could be a curse or a blessing, right? It could
Yeah.
just automatically deny things and it will provide this process that could be maddening because you can't even argue with a human anymore.
Right.
But you wonder though, so you're right, Chris, about you can go to an outside agency to appeal beyond the carrier so you feel
Right.
you're getting a fair shake. You wonder if they'll create an outside AI entity that all the
Mhm.
carriers have to adopt.
That's really
It'd be
possible.
interesting.
That would be
I don't
cool.
know. There you go. That's where my mind goes.
I
No,
love
Why
that's
not?
it, if it's not going away, it needs to be more efficient, simpler, and
And fair.
still have an eye on cost control the right way.
Right.
Right.
And maybe AI can help solve that. Who knows? By the time this thing posts, that might already exist for us.
This
Yeah,
goes this
that's
goes
true.
back to last week's episode. The Affordable Care Act had nothing to do with affordability.
Right.
If we could address cost of care in that bill, we would not be sitting where we are today, where we have single rates darn near hitting $1,000 a month, family rates almost
3 or
hitting $4,000
4,000.
a month.
Yeah.
It's just it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I do want to take this opportunity. Maybe we should save this. What we learned about subsidies going away and
Oh,
how
yes. Yeah.
screwed up our media is of not telling the truth about subsidies going away. It's not all subsidies are going away. So maybe we should save that for
We should
another
save
bottom
that for
line
another one.
because I
That's a
was
great
blown
topic.
away. Like I assumed all subsidies were going away on .gov. That's not true.
That, and that's a great point. I continue to see news outlets report that exact
Same
thing.
crap.
And if it wasn't for our teammate that works in that space and explained that it was the extended subsidies that came out during COVID, kind of layered upon layer of a
Yep.
subsidy, that portion's going away. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. That's, I think, a great topic.
We should bring Brian on that can help us understand because he actually went through some premium examples, which
Yeah.
granted, premiums are going up. I feel bad for anyone paying more. All of our premiums went through the roof this year,
Yep.
darn near double. So I get it. Cost of health insurance is expensive, but we should save that for our bottom line Thursday because I was
Yeah,
Like it.
we'll get
blown
Brian on.
away. I
And I
thought for
can just sit
sure
back and smile.
you know
Yeah, so
what?
just make the introduction.
Kind of like on January 5th, you had absolutely nothing for us, and we had to come up with a topic. I've created our second one for February.
Wow.
I
It's a whole
like
new
this.
world, gentlemen. Whole new
Yeah,
world.
this is awesome. I'm gonna just
Anyway,
be drinking a margarita.
yes, back to your pre-approval. Great topic. I'd love talking about that because there's so many sides of this process, that some are fair and some are not, Good
Hey,
stuff,
Thanks for
Brad.
landing the plane, CB.
all right, we'll get Brian on here.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Hey
guys.
guys,
All right, take care.
see ya.